I failed. The words echoed louder than the stadium's silence. Mia stood alone on the track, the finish line just behind her, and the scoreboard flashing a time 2 seconds too slow. Her knees were scraped, her breath ragged, and the gold medal she dreamed of hung on someone else's neck. The crowd had stopped cheering. Her coach looked away. Even her own teammates avoided her eyes. Everyone had expected her to win. Mia, the girl who ran like fire and never looked back, had finally lost. Later that night, she sat alone in the locker room, sweat dried to salt on her skin. Her phone buzzed with messages she couldn't bear to read. One knock on the door. Then her grandfather stepped inside, his cane tapping gently against the tile. "You ran well," he said. "I lost." "You ran." Mia didn't answer. He sat beside her. "Do you know what happened the first time I tried to farm this land?" he asked, eyes fixed on the floor. "I planted tomatoes. Thought I'd be feeding the whole town by summer. I didn't know the soil was too acidic. Everything died. I failed. This isn't farming, Grandpa. This was my chance. And there will be others," he said. "But only if you don't walk away from the dirt." Mia stared at the floor, jaw clenched. He continued, "The soil didn't change. I did. I learned what it needed. I tried again. And now we have acres of crops that grow every season. Failure's only final if you decide it is." Mia looked up. Her legs ached, her pride burned, but a quiet thought sparked inside: the season wasn't over. The next morning, she was the first on the track. Alone. No cameras, no fans. Just her breath in the sunrise. She ran until her lungs screamed, until her legs begged to stop. And then she ran farther. Every day, she returned. She watched her races, frame by frame. Studied her form. Built her strength. Her coach began to believe again. So did she. By the end of the year, Mia stood once more at a starting line. The same stadium. The same crowd. But a different fire in her eyes. When the gun fired, she didn't just run, she flew. She crossed the finish line nearly a full second ahead of the next runner. The cheers this time were deafening. Reporters swarmed her, asking how she'd done it. "I lost before I could win," she said simply. "That's when I learned how to rise." And she did, again and again. Not because she never fell, but because she never stayed down. In time, her name became legend. But she always remembered the silence of that first defeat, and the lesson that bloomed from it. Failure isn't the end. It's the beginning of becoming something stronger.